right? The UFC is in, I don't want to say a free-for-all, but they have a real star problem going on, right? Simply put, who's going to put butts in the seats, right? Hey, what's going on, fight fans? Hey, this is Coach D, the Wild Man, coming at you again with another episode of Coach D Media. Now, you know what I do with Coach D Media. I talk about what's going on in combat sports. All right, let's get back into it. We have an interesting dilemma going on right now, right? The UFC is in, I don't want to say a free-for-all, but they have a real star problem going on, right? Simply put, who's going to put butts in the seats, right? So I was looking at the rankings and go, who would I put my money behind? Like, who's going to bring in the real money? Okay, that you simply can't go, when this fight happens, people are coming, right? So look at the rankings. John Jones is injured, but yeah, who was he going to fight, right? His roster for people to fight, it ain't there for any real star power. The biggest star power was supposed to be Francis Ngannou. You see what he just did with Tyson Fury over there at PFL. Done deal. It would have to be a mega money fight for them two to finally come together. And then where it's going to happen? It's going to happen in the UFC. It's going to happen someplace else. All right. Sean O'Malley, you know what I'm saying? He's going to fight Morale pretty soon, sooner versus later. Maybe Henry Cejudo. But after that, then what? Alexander Volkanovski, he just got KO'd, head kick. So, you know, he can't bring it right now. I mean, he's always a good fighter. He's done great things, but you know, he gonna have to do something spectacular, right? Islam is the current name, kind of sorted right now, but he ain't the best on the mic. You know what I'm saying? He can't bring no buzz other than being a great fighter who's beating everybody, right? He's gonna be fighting Charles Oliveira. So, you know, hey, that's already pretty much a done deal. Leon Edwards has never been star power. You know, he can't really sell anything, you know what I'm saying, other than he's a good, solid fighter. Sean Strickland possibly can do something, you know, because he know how to run his mouth. He currently got the belt, you know, DDP maybe, you know, a rematch with Jared Canera, maybe Robert Whitaker, because Israel's going to be out for a while. So who you going to do, right? The only real fight they have to make, well, maybe I take that back. You can put Justin Gaethje in there against Israel if you want to turn something up, maybe. But that, like I said, superstar power, no. So really, the only fight you have is to bring back Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor for a trilogy to turn the eyeballs back to the UFC. Because right now, PFL has got the attention with freaking, you know, Francis Ngannou doing what he just did, right? All the eyeballs, all the attention, all the possibilities are making money is at the PFL right now. Now, major money, no, but great paydays, maybe. You know, a millionaire, a couple millionaire, you know, fighters can go, look, I can make $1 million over at PFL. You see what I'm saying? You know, that's saying something coming out the gate. So you may be fighters wanting to run out their contract and test the waters in an open market. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot going on right now between the PFL and UFC. You just got to call it what it is, right? So how does Dana White right the ship? My take, my best bet is right now Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is the only one that can shake shit up right now. It's because he's one of the biggest stars out there, and he has real options that make sense for fans to want to get into. So you already heard this story about the owner of the PFL has offered Nate Diaz $15 million to fight Jake Paul in a wrestling match, right? That's the money grab fight, right? There is no real history there. There is no real story. They just boxed. So, a little bit of a story. I take that back. A little bit of a story. transitioning after boxing into MMA. It's a good, interesting gimmick. You know what I'm saying? But is it really the format that Nate Diaz is interested in? Because who wouldn't want $15 million? Right? So obviously it's not money for Nate, or he'd hop right on and go, yeah, let's do this. $15 million for me to choke out Jake Paul. Sure, let's do it. But right now, you don't hear anything, because I think he wants to come back to the UFC and do the trilogy with Conor McGregor. That's the legacy fight. See what I'm saying? For hardcore fighters who came up in the sport of fighting, it's not always about the money, right? Is what you want your legacy to be. Who I beat, what I've done, what I've accomplished. It can't be this fighter made this much money but didn't fight nobody. You don't want that, right? You want to fight, I fought the who's who, I beat the best, I'm one of the best to ever do it. That's what you want as part of your legacy. It ain't always about money. If you got the right gimmick at the right time, you can make money. That's why Instagram, social media success has been the boom for so long, because you can become an overnight sensation. I've seen people who've gone viral and has got movie deals because they went viral. So now they're going to capitalize on that viral moment and put him in a movie like they have any acting chops. No, but I've seen it, right? So it's not always about, the money. So Nate Diaz is in a good position. Actually, he's in a very strong position, because I'm not saying Dana White is desperate, but he is, right? With this Bud Light crap going on, and John Jones being injured, and Francis Ngannou doing what he's doing, Conor. Dana White is going to have to figure out what's going to get the attention back on me, right? I can't keep stirring crap up. So, the old saying, any news is good news, that's good sometimes, but that ain't good all the time. Right. If you just focus on all the bad press of Bud Light to get the attention on you, why do that when you could put on a mega fight? Okay. Because right now I don't see in the whole roster, I don't see no mega fights. The cards aren't what they used to be. The stars are lackluster, right? The super fights ain't there anymore. Alexander Volkanovski versus Islam was rushed because it's a last minute thing to put eyeballs back on the UFC, and Alexander got KO'd for it with a short camp. Who wants that? So I think Nate Diaz is the right choice. Now, when you got $15 million on the table, what kind of counter? And that could be to block the UFC. That could be the PFL. So look, let's throw some stupid ass number out there and make the UFC counter on even a bigger number. So they can go ahead and forget about Nate Diaz. You see what I'm saying? Because Nate Diaz has already fought in the PFL, right? It's already on their books. Why not keep Nate Diaz? Is what I think they're trying to do. Okay? Because he's a star, right? Promotions need more stars. PFL doesn't have enough stars, plain and simple. Right? But right now, the UFC don't got that many stars. So as a whole, combat sports is struggling for real stars, right? We're making up stories for these fighters to ride on. You know what I'm saying? We're putting together crazy fights they don't really have to put together, right? So money versus legacy. That's what I'm interested to see for Nate Diaz. What is he going to do? Is he going to go for the money? Which, at his age, sometimes, the easy deals can get it done, man. 50 million in the bank, you can chill for a good minute. Or you want the legacy. You want to go down in the history of the sport that says the Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz trilogy, Nate Diaz came out on top. Because they're 1-1 right now. To go down in the history books as 1-1, I don't think two real dogs going to let that happen. They're going to fight sooner or later. This may be the right time for them to fight, because right now, it's not a bidding war, but it could be. It could be. Connor's going to capitalize on it. And if he decides to go, you know what? I don't want to come back and fight Islam. I want to fight Nate. It's on and cracking. You know it and I know it. Right? So let's see what happens. Should Nate Diaz go for the money or should he go for the legacy? Let's find out. All right. Short and sweet, getting it done, getting back in the rhythm. This is Coach D doing what I'm doing, calling it like I see it, talking my share of shit. To hear from me again, peace out.